Tonight from the Mesquite Arena, the Outlaws host the Tacoma Stars in a Western Division battle in the MASL. I'm Pete Stein along with Matt Thornton. Glad you could be with us. The Outlaws playing on the second night of a back-to-back after whipping the Dallas Sidekicks last night 7-1 in what was a very impressive performance from Mesquite.
Man, it was indeed.
3-3 coming into this, but very much in the middle of this playoff picture.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at Monterey Flash, they're dominating 6-0. You got right behind them the San Diego Sockers. And then it's a jumbled mess. You know, everybody right there, a lot of 3-3 teams, a lot of teams at 500. So this Mesquite Outlaws team absolutely is in the playoff mix.
The Outlaws can get a leg up with a victory tonight over Tacoma, a team that's really been struggling, coming in here 2-5 with a 4-game losing.
At 2-5, typically goals, but not a lot of guys behind him doing a lot of scoring, not a lot of assists for this team. Kind of an interesting year for Tacoma.
Yeah, Tacoma comes in 7th in the West, and they're just 1-4 on the road.
Yeah, and you've got to wonder, too, about the fact that they're coming here first night of a back-to-back. They go across the town to the Dallas Sidekicks tomorrow, and, man, it's a lot of playing time here on a team with a four losses.
Pereira, you mentioned, and Michael Ramos accounting for a lot of their scoring. They each have 9 goals.
Yeah, exactly. And you look at Pereira with the 8 assists, you know, so impressive. He just does everything. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Pereira's the defender with the power play goals. He's leading one of the top in the league. Mitchell Cardenas, you got Mike Jones, Cody Ellis, all with multiple blocks, multiple games. So he is getting a ton of help, but, man, I mean, the rookie has just been impressive.
On the other end tonight, you've got Danny Waltman, 2-5, a 6.73 goals against average, stopping about 65% of the shots he faces.
Yeah, and he's 10th in the MASL, as you mentioned, at .649 save percentage. Still actually pretty impressive considering they've only got the 2 wins. So, Waltman has been around forever, and he's doing a great job, too.
Tacoma will be kicking off. We've already mentioned some of the guys, but who are the players to watch tonight?
Yeah, I got a couple guys to keep an eye on. For the Outlaw Grand Valley Barracudas last season, Cardenas has 2 goals, 3 assists, is tied for 4th on his team with 5 points, and is 2nd in the league with 13 blocks. He has proven to be an outstanding two-way player, and it wouldn't surprise me at all, Pete, if he nets a goal today. For Tacoma, it's easy to say all-world everything Nick Pereira. I'm not going to do it. I think midfielder Mike Ramos is tied, as you mentioned earlier, with Pereira for the team. Size and speed, and was drafted in the MSL Super Draft by the Toronto FC back in 2015. Pereira will frequently look to Ramos to snipe goals.
So this is a Tacoma team trying to find their way on the road tonight, visiting Mesquite. A couple of keys to the game tonight, Matt.
Yeah, a couple keys, and I mean, you got to talk about him. Tacoma MASL superstar Nick Pereira is the engine that drives his team's offense. He's big, physical, and can score from anywhere on the pitch. Since 2016, Pereira has 89 goals, but also 77 assists. So what's special about him is he makes everyone around him better. So the Outlaws defense will have to contain Nick in all aspects to win. My second key, Mesquite must beat a team not named the Dallas Sidekicks tonight, Pete.
Yeah, then they've got a chance to do that tonight with Tacoma visiting. Chase Hansen kicked off and we're underway. Tacoma has early possession in the attacking third, but Mike Jones clears it for the Outlaws, but gets it only as far as Ramos. Cox has his shot blocked by Ellis, and Ellis collects the loose ball. Gets the outlet pass ahead to Vicmore Aligwe. Aligwe had a goal last night. He scored in all 3 of those wins.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun matchup to watch. Big Mike Jones, Cody Ellis on Pereira. You want to talk about some big bodies banging around up there? It'll be fun.
Right now, Ellis and Jones with possession. Jones delivering the long ball to Aligwe in the corner. He's being marked there by Caceres. Puts a shot in, but making the save is Danny Waltman. Changes being made by Tacoma. Coming into the game, Derek Johnson. Johnson floating around the midfield. Caceres looking for a target. Plays it to the feet of Johnson. Aligwe putting the pressure on. Waltman has slipped up the left side and delivers the ball to Pereira. Pereira inside the Mesquite line. Shot off the inboard. Lovegrove keeps it inside Mesquite territory.
Beautiful. Stops the ball, collects it, and a back heel to Alex Mixon running around the side there. Couldn't quite get it in, but man, he's so dangerous. He can either spin and shoot, Pete, or he can dish it off. Just such an impressive player.
Johnson sends it up the right wing boards to Alex Mixon, who's not able to trap it.
Mixon, the former Dallas sidekick, played here in Dallas. A lot of fans, a lot of people liked him. He's a scrappy guy, scores goals, played with Freddie Mugin back in 2014, 2015. Got a chance to get to know him a little bit. Good guy on and off the pitch.
We've played just over no score between the Outlaws and the Stars. It'll be a restart for Tacoma at the Dallas line. Pereira approaches, drives it right into the wall, but it comes right back to him. Caceres fires a left-footed shot, goes wide left. And here comes the counterattack led by Sean David. He finds Lee moving up the left wing. Lee with a shot, blocked by Caceres and out of play.
Yeah, nice job by Caceres. Another guy who can play both ways with the 2 power play goals and great defense. Been very impressive this season.
Mesquite will get a restart. Play the ball off the inboards. It was a good idea by Lovegrove. Ramos trying to get it cleared. Jones marking Pereira as he crosses halfway. Pereira drawing a lot of attention now. Slips through a double team. Approaches the area. Fires one off the glass to the left of Cortez.
Nifty move by Pereira. Spun around it like it was nothing.
Waltman leaves it for Caceres. And Caceres sends one out of play. Trying to shoot it up the right wing boards and just play it into space. Instead gives Mesquite a restart. Mesquite wearing the white at home for the first time. It's Tacoma wearing the dark kit.
And Tacoma in those classic kits. I mean, they've had these forever.
They're sharp, too.
They are.
Aligwe going one-on-one. Now draws a crowd and plays it back. Ellis gets it from Lee. Oteze in the center circle. Over to Lee. 11:20 to play in the first quarter. Rio with possession. Back to Ellis. Lee chips it toward the Tacoma line. Intercepted by Caceres. Gets it only as far as Oteze.
Pereira, is, of course, many know, is the co-head coach this season, and you can see him directing traffic out there while he's on the field.
Along with Adam Becker, both listed as head coaches. Here comes Aliris there to send back to L. I'd love to see how long and how well he plays tonight.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Had a goal and an assist in a 7-1 victory over the Sidekicks in the third rendition of the Texas Derby.
Just a little ball of hate, agitating everybody, doing what he does.
Changes made. Jones has it for the Outlaws. Gets it to David. Sent ahead to Powell.
Nice.
Powell had 2 goals last night. Battling for possession and a foul called. as Ramos got spun to the turf.
Nice job by Mike Jones up there to Anthony. The long ball to Anthony Powell. Just couldn't quite turn. Picks up that foul.
Just over 10 minutes remaining here in the opening period. Tacoma visiting Mesquite Arena for the first time. David not able to trap it. It deflects off his boot and out of play. Tacoma with the restart. Sent back to Hansen. Waltman gets it to Vince McCluskey, who's watched by Lovegrove.
Jamie fresh off his hat trick from last night. Said he felt great after the game.
David plays it back to Jones. David sprinting toward the bench after delivering the pass to Lovegrove. Back to Cortez. Pushes it over his own line. Aligwe got tripped up by McCluskey and a foul call. McCluskey's looking for a dive.
Yeah.
But the official says no, he grabbed his jersey.
He grabbed a little bit of his jersey, indeed.
Senior referee, Christopher Pinso, is the referee. Lovegrove plays to Aligwe. Aligwe again stumbled. McCluskey not able to clear it. Ellis gets a head on it, but not able to keep it in play. The referee assistant tonight is Jim Mills, and the fourth official is Daniel Radford.
So Aligwe goes down a lot, but he gives it out too. He's got 15 fouls, tied for third in the MESL. So he'll dish it. Tacoma Stars defense.
Mesquite walks a fine line because they play physical, but they don't get a lot of blue cards.
Yep. Indeed.
Mexon, marked by Lee, plays it back to the keeper Waltman. 8:44 to play here in the first. Still scoreless at Mesquite Arena as Caceres sends it over halfway up the middle. A back heel pass, and getting taken down from behind is Adrian Carrera.
Yeah, and that's a card, and that's an easy call because he was taken off for that goal. And again, Nick Pereira receives the ball in the middle of the field, just a little quick heel pass to his left, and he just does a great job of that.
So just as soon as I say that the Outlaws don't spend a lot of time in the penalty box, they'll be shorthanded for 2 minutes with 8:35 to play in the first. Tacoma gets the first power play out. This will be a shootout, and it'll be Pereira, and this will be a real test for Eduardo Pollo Cortez.
It's the first of his career. The referee's trying to.
Cardenas has the ear of an official.
He wants to make sure that he has to stand behind the line, I guess. I don't know.
So the Outlaws have to keep all four of their players inside the center circle. The Stars have to be at least at halfway. Pereira, what a nifty move as they kicked over the ball and then side booted it in to give the Stars a 1-0 lead with 8:32 to play in the first. Arrow is out of the penalty box, but Tacoma has taken the lead.
Man, boy, I tell you what, Pereira. And then again, another fake, which brought Cortez down to the ground, and then just a quick little easy pass into the back of the net. You know, Pollo Cortez, you got to understand, you're going up against one of the best in the league there. No shame in that, but man, Pereira putting on a show with that kick.
10th goal of the year for Nick Pereira, and it's given Tacoma a 1-0 lead at Mesquite with 8.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. A long ball sent in, headed by McCluskey of the Stars. DeLuna in the game, gets a touch along, back to Cortez. Searching ball for Powell, knocked down by McCluskey of Tacoma, who pushes his way into Mesquite territory. Mexon turns it over. The outlet pass comes to Sean David, moving up the left wing boards, looking for support. Plays it back to Cardenas.
Yeah, David was looking for the pass.
Cardenas sends it out of play.
I think he would have been better off taking the run down the left and maybe taking a shot and testing Waltman.
So there's a timeout with 7:47 to play in the first quarter. Tacoma has taken a 1-0 lead on Nick Pereira's power play goal.
The Mesquite Outlaws would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of official game ball for MASL League play. Miter's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30%.
The Miter ball's been in the back of the net one time, and the Stars lead the Outlaws 1-0 here at Mesquite Arena, out shooting the Outlaws 3-2. Each team with 2 block shots, and each team called for 1 foul to this point.
Yeah, and you see Nick Pereira, he's the engine. I said it in the pregame. He's the engine that makes this Tacoma Stars offense run, and he set up that foul, the penalty, the blue card, and then it went in and just a saucy little play against Eduardo Pollo Cortez. I found out a little bit more on Pollo's nickname. He's actually Eduardo Cortez Jr. His dad was Pollo Cortez, Eduardo Cortez Sr. in Guadalajara, Mexico. He's listening to us right now. He said his dad had a big, thick upper body and skinny legs, so that's why they called him Pollo the chicken. Because I said, man, you got ice in your veins, man. You're not a chicken. Mm-hmm. And he laughed. He said, yeah, it's my dad. So he's Pollo Jr.
Tacoma has possession as play resumes with 7.5 minutes to play in the opening period. The Outlaws trail 1-0. Ball played to the feet of Pereira along the right side boards.
That's where you want to front Pereira up, is in the far up left-hand side past the zone. That's a good job by Cody Ellis.
Cox gets past Otese, who fell to the turf and is now being chased by Eligwe as the ball is sent back to Waltman.
Otese, another guy who's really impressed this season. Defender, and man, he's really come on. 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. Tied for 4th on his team.
Back to Waltman. Cox looking upfield. Instead goes back to the keeper as the Stars make changes on the fly.
Just look at the movement by the Tacoma Stars as this back and forth. They are making runs. They're just egg beaters, running in circles, making passes. It's really impressive.
Mexon sends it to the Mesquite line. Battle for possession there, and a foul called as Ellis goes down along with Alessandro Canale.
Yeah.
Canale will restart play for the Stars. Switch it over to the left side. Pereira puts one on frame, but Cortez, moving to his left, clamps down on it.
Nice stop by Cortez. Looked it in.
Just over 6 minutes to play in the first.
Kind of felt like he needed to get that out of his system,
Here's Lovegrove putting one in front, but it's poked away from Powell by McCluskey. Powell was making a run to the back post.
Yeah, he should have been in the middle there. That's where Jamie was looking for if he'd been in the middle.
Look at this. McCluskey nearly put it in the back of his own net. He didn't look to see where Waltman was, and Waltman kept it from going over the goal line.
Wow, scary moment for the Tacoma Stars, and Waltman saving the day. Goodness gracious.
Lee up the back of Ramos, and the whistle comes.
Man.
And a yellow card is shown to the Mesquite bench. Sagu has his arms outstretched. He may have been the one that brought about the card.
Yeah, tattoos. He's excited. You can see Sagu. Stavro back, just kind of being chill Stavro. Yeah, descent.
Sagu always had a little bit of a temper when he played,
yeah.
So it's not surprising. Raising Cane.
Was it the ball in Baltimore, was it? The on-field brawl, he talks about that all the time.
Ellis gets tangled up in the corner and taken down.
Yeah, that's.
Canale gets called for the foul.
And you don't see Cody Ellis go down very often, but he was literally just pushed down.
Tacoma makes a run up the right side, gets past Rio. Mexon moving in, and that'll be a routine save for Pollo Cortez.
A nice run for Mixon. They call him the Elegant Assassin, I believe was his nickname. And did a good job there. Just needed to get a little more muscle on his shot.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that past Pollo.
It was an elegant run.
No, it was indeed.
Cortez to the feet of Aligwe. Nice job controlling the ball and getting it back to Rio.
I've noticed Caceres a lot on Aligwe. I think they've game planned to have Caceres marking Aligwe.
Searching ball. This is Megson who comes up with it, draws a double team along the boards, gets it back to Caceres. He finds Canale in the center circle. Canale's double teamed and spins away from Ellis.
And Canale, nice job there to retain possession. Couple spins.
Cox sends it back to Waltman. Caceres on the ball now with 4:05 to play in the first. Tacoma still leading 1-0. Waltman, long ball for Pereira off the corner glass. Pereira marked by Ellis, and then Powell comes in to win the ball and gets a backheel pass off to Sean David.
Great job by Anthony Powell. That's what you have to do. Just deny Pereira the ball.
It wasn't Sean David, pardon me. It was Romero who received that backheel pass. Now the ball ahead to Powell. Pereira on him. Powell weaving his way through traffic. Gets it across halfway.
Oh,
and a little
man.
give and go. And it looked like Mesquite had the advantage, but the whistle stops play.
Oh, boy, I hate that whistle. I mean, he was off to the races, Pete. Goodness gracious. Why would you stop that play? Easy give and go. Man, we want to get Tattoo riled up.
Pereira picks up the foul with 3:20 to play in the first. Tacoma leading 1-0 on the strength of a Pereira power play goal. Jones not able to get past DeLuna. DeLuna working all alone, moving up the left wing side. Finally gets some support.
Yeah.
And a foul.
Good job by Mike Jones there. He lost that ball. He hustled back to get it back. That's the kind of player he is. Gritty, hard-nosed player. He's like, nah, you steal that ball from me, I'm going to get it back from you.
Cortez drives one deep, has Lovegrove.
Yeah, it's a two-line pass. Two-line, easy. It was so close, though, Pete. We're talking inches.
Yeah, went over both yellow lines, three-line pass.
Three lines, excuse me. Two lines, three lines, lines everywhere. Yeah, Cortez just almost got it over, but not quite.
It'll be a restart from the Mesquite line. It'll be Pereira on the ball. Pereira plays it to the corner in front. Mesquite trying to get it cleared, but it goes only as far as Ramos on the left side. It's played back to McCluskey, who finds Caceres to Mexon.
Oh!
And he scores
Wow!
with a bicycle kick.
My goodness, the Elegant Assassin doing it big time with the bicycle kick. Hey, I mean, that ball, it was coming at him hot from the far right-hand side and just the unbelievable. Pollo Cortez beat him completely. My goodness.
5 to play in the first gives the Stars a 2-0 lead.
Boy, that's a highlight reel and a half type
Pretty
play.
nice assist as well.
It was beautiful. I did not expect him to turn backwards and shoot the ball. Was expecting him just to collect it, but man, Mexon went after it. Boy, Mesquite Outlaws are shaking their heads right now, wondering what do they got to do to keep this Tacoma Stars team from scoring.
So they find themselves trailing 2-0, being outshot 5-3. The Mexican goal coming even strength at 12:25 of the first. Caceres with the assist.
Nice work on the boards by Romero there.
It's played back to the keeper, Cortez. Keeps it on the ground, getting it to Alegwe just inside the Tacoma line. Back to Romero.
Caceres giving Aligwe no room to move whatsoever. He's not been able to turn.
He's tugging on his jersey right now.
Just being a pest.
This is Jones for Tacoma. And it goes through the legs of Johnson. And a backheel pass sets up a shot that goes wide left. Ramos was looking for his 10th goal. And with 1:23 to play in the first, the whistle.
Yeah, it was going wide, but Cortez, full extension, got it out of there. And then the foul there, drew the foul, did Brendan Lee.
Mesquite gets a free kick out of its own end. Approaching the 1 minute mark. Ball for Powell. Taken away by McCluskey. Powell trying to win it back. McCluskey draws a crowd. Not able to get around Rio. Cardenas corrals it. Gets it to Lovegrove. Wearing the captain's armband. Plays it to the top of the arc. A one-touch pass to Rio. Sent back into the area, but behind Lovegrove. All the way to the corner. And Correa is there for the Stars. Powell has it. May have a chance to get the Outlaws on the board. Takes a shot and just misses. Wide left.
Man, Anthony Powell, nice couple moves there. Missed it just outside.
Down to the final 30 seconds. First period winding down. Pereira and Mexon, the goal scorers for Tacoma. They lead 2-0. Waltman sends it up the right side. Cardenas will let that go all the way back to Cortez. Correa marks Cardenas, who gets it to Lovegrove through the referee crease to the Tacoma line. A shot off the end glass, knocked down by Pereira of Tacoma as time runs out in the first quarter. Our score at the end of the first period is the Tacoma Stars 2, the Mesquite Outlaws nothing.
Yeah, boy, Outlaws, this is a surprise. I did not expect the Tacoma to jump out on the Outlaws like this, 2-0. This is a position they don't find themselves in very often. And Alex Mexon, possibly the goal of the year right now. I mean, that bicycle kick, and that ball was on a laser coming at him. Just a beautiful.
Time is the new home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. You can catch the latest episode every Friday as Alex Bashuvansky hosts this 30-minute deep dive into the MASL. Make sure to catch every episode. I'm Pete Stein along with Matt Thornton. We're between periods in the first half. The Tacoma Stars on the road trying to break a 4-game losing streak and leading the Outlaws 2-0. It's the first time this year that the Outlaws have not scored in the first period. And their losses have all 3-2 was the final of that game.
Yep.
New Year's Eve, they're in Milwaukee. They lose that breaker.
Left in the game, and that guy. Yeah, that was a tough game. But this is surprising. I think even I did not scoring a whole lot of goals on the year. They're actually a +8 goal differential, whereas Tacoma is a -13. But still, they just haven't been able to get out and score a whole lot. League-way, Anthony Powell, Jamie Lovegrove, it's surprising.
The Stars out shooting the Outlaws through the first period, 5-3, each team with 4 fouls. 3 block shots for the Stars, 2 for the Outlaws. And we're just moments away from the start of the second period here at Mesquite Arena. Pereira opened the scoring at 6:28 of the first with a power play goal on the shootout. A nifty move allowed him to beat Cortez. And then Alex Mexon taking a pass from Alex Caceres and bicycling one into the back of the net at 12:25 of the first. Oscar Romero with the blue card in the first period that allowed Tacoma to take the lead on the Pereira shootout goal. So we start the second period with the Outlaws kicking off. Jamie Lovegrove in the center circle. We're underway in the second period. The Outlaws trailing 2-0. They play a long ball looking for a league way. David comes in to keep the ball inside Tacoma territory. Tacoma gets it cleared, but only as far as Jones, who plays it left to Lovegrove, and it comes back to Cardenas. A league way gives chase. Caceres is there for the Stars, and Tacoma will come out of their own end. This is Canale switching it to the right side. We've played just over 30 seconds of the second quarter.
Man, I'll tell you, this Tacoma Stars team does not look like the team that lost 9-2 to the Kansas City Comets back on December 28th, Pete. I mean, these guys have come in here with a mission.
And that's kind of the anomaly because they've been in almost every game.
Yeah.
And that was a surprise, the way they got overwhelmed by Kansas City. A team that won here in Mesquite and then lost in Allen to the sidekicks. Jones mixing it up with Canale behind Cortez, but play continues as the ball is sent out to Ellis.
Jones did not like that. He was being grabbed, and the player was not letting go of him.
Lovegrove not able to get it away from Canale, but Ellis does, and Lovegrove moves up the middle through the center circle, plays it to the left side, finds Romero, who takes a shot. Waltman with the save. And a quick outlet pass out to Ramos.
Yeah, Tacoma's really been good on the counterattack. A couple times. Outlaws did a nice job of countering, though, and getting back on defense.
Both teams make changes. Cox to Waltman. Powell gives chase. McCluskey receives it off the wall. Finds Mexon moving up the middle, but Romero takes it away. Jones with a diagonal ball into the corner. Aligwe has it off the wall, turns to face the goal, and it just goes wide off the rebound.
Oh, Brendan Lee, the rookie, almost had a beautiful header there, and Aligwe did a nice job getting it out there.
Ellis tees it up, and Waltman sprawling to make the save, sends it out of play behind the goal.
Cody Ellis, that heavy shot. Waltman, great job. The first real test we've seen from Waltman. But, man, that Brendan Lee, that header was just barely missed.
From the corner, Lovegrove with the restart. Lifts it to Cardenas for a volley.
Almost knew that ball was going low.
Mesquite with possession, 12:20 to play in the second. The Outlaws trailing 2-0. Turning it over as Pereira takes it away. Lovegrove battling to get it back. Mexon gets it to McCluskey. Again, Tacoma with some good passing in their own end, and now get it across halfway as Jones finds Mexon. Jones whiffs as he got it back from Mexon inside the arc. Caceres has it along the boards and gets it to Pereira.
Oh, man, tough break for Tacoma there. Just whiffed on it. Mike Jones slipped down, allowed the ball past him.
That ball goes past Ramos, but plays it off the wall into the area, and Pereira deposits into the back of the net to give the Stars a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, and I think this ball actually went off of Mitchell Cardenas' leg, too. He might have got just a small piece of it, but not enough of it to deflect it out. Man, Tacoma pouring it on.
Pereira's second goal of the game, 3-0.
Yeah, Mike Ramos dishing it up to Pereira that time. He's my guy to watch, Pete. Got him another assist there.
Came in with, 9 goals and 8 assists?
Ramos had 9 goals, 1 assist. Now he's got a couple.
That's right. Pereira had the 9 goals and the 8 assists.
Yep. But, man, he likes to dish it off. But going the other direction. maybe Coach Pereira said, I want you to get some more assists this game.
Oteze is the target man in the corner. Correa is there for the Stars. Not able to clear it into the area for Powell, and he scores, and the Outlaws are on the board with 11:02 to play in the second quarter.
Great work along the board by J.J. Oteze. Gets it over to Brendan Lee. Brendan Lee up the top, and then boom, back in the net. Anthony Powell with a
Mesquite able to pull one back. A much-needed goal for the Outlaws.
And that's the thing. A lot of these players, Brendan Lee, for example, Oteze, both rookies, right? And so that's what they got to realize. Down 3-0 in the MASL, you can come back at any time. You don't put your head down. You keep playing and play hard.
Powell's even-strength goal comes at 3:59 in the second, assisted by Lee. Rio gets called for the foul.
Powell back-to-back games with goals. He was so disappointed he missed the hat trick. He said he was lobbying Stavro. He wasn't lobbying Tattoo to try to get in late last night.
This is Pereira posting up as the target man in the corner. Scoops it into the area, and the Outlaws are able to get it cleared, but it's McCluskey who knocks it down in the center circle and gets it right back to Pereira, marked by Cardenas. Falls to the turf, but gets the pass to Cox. Ramos to Cox, and a save made by Cortez.
Great job there by the defense. You can see Pereira falling, still got the pass off, Pete.
It'll be a restart near the Stars bench. The foul called on McCluskey. Cardenas to Lovegrove. Back to the keeper, Pollo Cortez. Cortez been a
bicycle. Alex Megson pushed him down. He's just kind of an incidental contact thing.
Quick restart. Shot just wide. That's off the right foot of the newcomer who got action last night, Oscar Romero. Stars desperately trying to get out of their own end here. DeLuna down on the ground. Not able to win the ball. Here's a shot and a goal from the top of the arc. And just like that, we got a one-goal game as Oscar Romero scores for the Outlaws.
Waving his hand, I got the ball, give it to me, boom, back of the net. Man, that was a laser. And Waltman had no chance on that ball whatsoever.
Matt, you mentioned it. You can be down 3 in this game and get right.
Did a nice job of just keeping their heads in the game, staying disciplined, not allowing themselves to get too down. I mean, 3-0 in outdoor. I mean, Pete, that's
over.
Yeah, it's over. That's it. In indoor, not so much, my friend. Not so much.
Not always over in outdoor,
Yeah,
but
you know,
for the most part. This is Jones getting tripped up.
Yeah, Mike Jones.
They called.
Yeah, Mike Jones there is boy, he's really being physical.
Ramos got called for the foul. 9.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Oteze has it for Mesquite. Gets it to Ellis in the center circle. To Jones on the left side. We see Bradley Valadez into the game for the first time. Valadez is the target man. Go ahead.
Yeah, he impressed me in preseason. Valadez did. He got a couple of goals in their blue and white scrimmage, and we haven't seen a lot of him this season after that.
For Dallas, a 7-1 victory. Jones battling in the corner, trying to get around Ramos. And it's Correa who comes away with it and gets it cleared. Gets all the way to the Mesquite line. Ellis is there, and Ellis battles for and wins possession. Now pinned in the corner by Correa. They push on one another. No call. The outlet to Jones.
I don't know how there wasn't a foul there. My goodness. I mean, I think the number 33, Correa, took a hit, Cody Ellis. I mean, literally punched the guy. I mean, goodness gracious.
It was 33 on 33 crime in the corner. 8:20 to play in the second quarter as Aligwe moves in on the left side. Caceres and Ramos are there, and it's Ramos who has it. Gets it to Hansen.
This game is completely physical, and they're not calling anything right now. I think Cody Ellis and Michael Jones will take that.
Cardenas sends it ahead to Aligwe, marked by Caceres, who steals it away. Megson has it in front of the Mesquite bench, into space, and Cox runs up on it. Cox pushing his way forward, plays it into the area. Canale cannot get it. He did get it over the goal line.
Jamie Lovegrove is furious.
Lovegrove was there defensively, and he thought he had it cleared before it went over the goal line.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I don't think that I disagree with him. I did not see that ball completely cross the plane. I thought Jamie Lovegrove got there, and we can see it on the replay. And in second thought, looking at it again, it looks like it might have been just barely across, but they're taking a look at it for good measure.
The whole ball has to go across the whole line. So it's a goal.
Yeah, it's a goal.
And it's a 4-2 lead for the Stars with 7:48 to play, but we've got a good MASL game
I'll tell
rolling with 7:48 to play in the second quarter. The Stars raced out to a 3-0 lead with goals from Pereira, Mexican, and Pereira scoring his second of the game before Anthony Powell got the Outlaws on the board. And then it became a 1-goal game when Romero, assisted by Powell, tallied for the Outlaws, but Canale has once again given Tacoma a 2-goal lead. It's 4-2, an even strength goal coming at 7:12 of the second. That's where we stand, 7:48 remaining in the period.
Yeah, and you know, Jamie Lovegrove, he's got to look and go, you know what, it went in, I got to move on, but it's frustrating. I can tell. He's still talking about looking at the replay. He's going to see it did fully cross the plane. But, wow, what a great game here, 2-4 Stars. Tacoma, man, they're just lighting it up right now.
Each team with 8 shots here in the first half. The Stars with 4 blocks, the Outlaws with 2. The Stars have committed 7 fouls to 5 for the Outlaws. 4-2 Stars over Outlaws with 7:48 to play here in the second quarter at Mesquite Arena. The MASL podcast returns this season. You can join us as we talk to players, officials, and coaches from across the league and take you behind the scenes of the MASL. Check out MASLsoccer.com to listen to past episodes and subscribe to the official MASL podcast on Apple Podcasts.
Outlaws still questioning the goal. I think they're in a little bit of a denial right now,
Well,
Pete.
you made the point. They got to turn the page.
Yeah, they do. They have to. Move on, fellas. It's 4-2 on the scoreboard, and that's what it is.
Outlaws still play because the Outlaws were starting to capture some momentum. We'll see if they can recapture that momentum. But right now, it's Mexon giving it over to DeLuna.
Yeah, and the outlet passes for the Tacoma Stars out of their zone have just been absolutely impressive. And, you know, they're really doing a great job getting the ball up.
The Outlaws is a little off the mark, and McCluskey is able to beat Powell to the ball. Mexon sends a diagonal ball on the carpet to the left side for Johnson. Moving in on Lee. Jones comes over to help out, and Cardenas is able to get it over to the goal scorer, Romero, who scored his first goal in his second game with the Outlaws this season.
Oh, nifty little play.
Here comes a chance for Lee, but getting there first, sliding, coming well out of the area to make the play.
Danny Waltman, gut sliding tackle. Brendan Lee, nifty little play to flick it on.
Jones lays it back to Cardenas with 6.5 minutes to play in the second. The Outlaws trying to cut into a 2-goal deficit. They've trailed by as many as 3. This is Jamie Lovegrove from distance, blocked by Ramos, out of play. Stars will make a couple of changes here as Correa and Mexon hustle in. Set up for Jones, and he'll sail that one out of play.
He immediately put his hands to his face. He knew he went a little high on that one. He's got a canning
in the half. It'll be goalkeeper distribution for Danny Waltman. Waltman hurls one for Pereira. Knocks it down as he's marked by Cardenas. Sent back to Waltman.
Pereira's so good. He makes this long throw just look easily, settles it down, gets it back. Such a good finesse player, but so big and powerful too.
Correa back to Waltman as we go under the 6-minute mark. Pereira receives it, splits 2 defenders, gets it to Correa. Correa was kind of in between thoughts there, and it's easily picked up by Cortez. Here comes Lovegrove from the wing, just misfires, and then Sean David had a chance, but that one's out of play into the seats behind the goal.
Yeah, great shot there, Jamie Lovegrove. Sean David, not so much. He should have taken a little touch there just to get it in front of himself. He really didn't have anybody coming out on him and had a bit of time, but we all get a little shank every once in a while, right, Pete?
Rolled out to Hanson, ahead to Cox. Thank you very much. And cleared by the Stars. Out to Cox. Cox gets past a sliding Rio. Gets all the way to the Mesquite line. Plays it to the right wing side. Pereira not able to get through the Outlaw defense. Ramos keeping it in the attacking third. The Stars will regroup, make changes on the fly here. Hansen has it on the Star side of halfway to Mexon. Mexon plays it forward up the middle to Canale. Canale turns on it, plays it to the right wing, and a shot is sent over the glass out of play by Johnson.
Tacoma's so good with their passing. I mean, you can see the 1-2 touches, the wall passes, just so good. They anticipate where the other player is going to be. And, man, they're so clean and crisp with their passing. Really, really difficult for a lot of these guys are rookies on the Mesquite Outlaws. They haven't seen something like this, this type of team that can do this precision passing, if you will, Pete.
Outlaws come in with a 3-3 record. All 3 wins coming against their local nemesis, the Dallas Sidekicks. As Matt said at the top, trying to beat somebody not named Sidekicks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of naysayers saying, is this team for real? And it's a fair question because, Sidekicks in a transition year themselves.
Jones from the top of the arc has a shot blocked. Cortez coming across his own line to handle it, leaves it for Cardenas. To the left wing side for Oteze. He gets to the corner boards, off the end boards, picked up by Waltman.
Just ran him right into the boards there. Great job by the defense of the Tacoma Stars.
Palmerin on the ball. Waltman.
Wall's your best friend sometimes.
Ramos looked like he was going to send it deep. Instead, plays it back to the keeper with 3:40 to play. The Stars with possession and a 4-2 lead. Ramos shadowed by Jones, back to Waltman. Stars probably have an edge in possession time here in the first half.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Sent up the middle to Pereira, who just deflects it over to the right wing boards, where it's received by Jones. And a man goes down as the whistle sounds. Temper starting to flare just a little bit. Ramos is the man who ended up on the carpet for the Tacoma Stars.
Yeah, Mike linebacker Jones doing his thing, banging bodies. I'll tell you, he's one of those guys. He's fiery, and he's not afraid to throw it around a little bit.
Stars with the restart. We approach the 3-minute mark. Mike Jones was called for the foul. Valadez nearly had the steal.
MJ, 1 goal, 3 assists, 11 blocks, tied for 4th in the league in blocks, having a great season.
Tacoma has a 3-goal lead. It's the Stars 5 and the Outlaws 2.
Yeah, and that's just undisciplined there by the Outlaws. And you can see Alex Megson left wide open on the middle there, and that's just too easy for him. He's going to kick that ball in every time. The elegant assassin. He got him a bicycle kick, and now he's got an easy passing goal right to the right. And, the Outlaws, they have got to track back. They've got to track back. You cannot leave guys wide open running down the field.
Mexon picking up his first 2 goals of the season here tonight. He's a big reason why the Stars have a 5-2 lead. Ramos getting the assist. 2:40 to play here in the second quarter. The goal coming at 12:16 of the second. So the Outlaws got to within 1, down 3-2, but now they've given up back-to-back goals. They'd really like to get one of these back before intermission.
I agree. I think they need a goal. They need to go in with some pep in their step. Right now, Tacoma's just taking it to them.
Right now, Mesquite trying to enjoy some of the possession. And Aligwe in the corner. Ellis running up on it, but Mexon was there. Ellis somehow able to maintain possession, and the Outlaws are able to keep it as we hit the 2-minute mark.
Some good pressure by the Outlaws here.
Ellis back to Rio. To Lee. Rio on the ground to Romero. Romero not able to get past the defender. Hansen, and it's Hansen trying to control in his own corner. Mexon is there joining the battle for the Stars. Here comes Ellis, and he fires that off. Hanson gets a left-footed shot off, but it's deflected in the area and covered up by Woltman.
Mexon went down there. He got a shot, took a bit of a kick to the leg.
Yep.
And
a minute 22 to play. Mexon down on all fours. The Stars lead 5-2.
It's been a very physical game, Pete. I mean, they're letting them push each other and shove, and you hope Alex Mexon are all right. He's certainly good right now.
It's made for an entertaining game. Tacoma out shooting Mesquite 10-9. Pereira and Mex Canale with a goal. Ramos has 2 assists. Caceres also has an assist tonight for the Tacoma Stars, who scored the first 3 goals of the game, and they've scored the last 2 goals. In between, Anthony Powell and Oscar Romero scoring goals. Powell with the Outlaws.
Yeah, back-to-back really good games for Anthony Powell. And the guy needs to get it going is Eligwe, man. We got to see some scoring. Eligwe, Jamie Lovegrove needs to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, and Powell with a goal and assist, and not an abundance of time on the floor here tonight.
Right. Good point.
Lee trying to win the battle along the boards, but it's over to Caceres. Ramos won that battle. Lee to Woltman. Less than a minute remaining now here in the second quarter. Stars looking to add to a 3-goal lead as we approach halftime here at the Mesquite Arena. The Stars' first ever visit here to Mesquite, and they'll be in Allen tomorrow to take on the struggling Sidekicks, who lost here last night 7-1. Intercepted by Cardenas. Can he get off a shot? Tacoma controls in their own area. Woltman scoops it up and quickly distributes out to halfway. Ramos is there battling Jones. Jones clamps down on Ramos. They both go to the ground.
Could have easily called that either way.
It's going to be a foul on Ramos.
Yeah.
Here comes Sean David with 18 seconds to play. Finds Cardenas, and a sliding stop made by Cox, and then Eligwe had a chance but missed wide.
Oh, man. Eligwe.
He'd like to have another chance at that. Ball in with 2 seconds remaining. There'll be no more play. There was a push.
Yeah.
And Eligwe may have got away with one in the waning seconds of this first half.
Boy, very fortunate there because that was a very obvious push into the wall. Very frustrated for, I think, Caceres, who was marking him there, Pete. And, that's pretty much indicative of how the Outlaws are feeling right now.
Caceres pleading his case while Steve Parker takes a look at Mike Jones, who is apparently shaken up here. As we reach halftime, Jones is down in an arm.
Yeah, it looks like. And, I mean, they both fell pretty hard on each other at that last foul. Still holding his arm, not walking off. And I hope he's okay because I'll tell you right now, with a game like this, they definitely need Mike Jones out there. And, man, he is really struggling to even walk off the field.
No question. He's in pain.
Yeah. And
he'll be getting the attention of the training staff when they get to the locker room.
He's a tough man, too. Big, tough, strong guy.
5-2, Tacoma leads, but a very entertaining first half.
I'll tell you right now, I did not see a fireworks display here tonight with the defensive games we've seen out of the Mesquite Outlaws. Tacoma jumped out quick, and they have just stayed on them. Some beautiful playing. I mean, some of these goals are like highlight reel goals.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The first 2 goals that Tacoma scored, both spectacular goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nick Pereira just making it all happen, just down there running his team on the field, off the field and on the field, and doing a beautiful job.
Pereira opened the scoring at 6:20 to the first on the shootout and made 2 fakes and then got the ball past Cortez. And after that, Caceres sent a ball into Mexon just to the left side of the arc, and Mexon with a beautiful bicycle kick sending one into the back of the net, and that gave Tacoma early momentum, and they would add to that when Pereira scored an even strength goal at 3:35. So he had an even strength goal and a power play goal here in the first half.
Yeah. The rookies showing out. Alero got himself a goal, as you mentioned, and Brendan Lee with the assist on Anthony Powell as well. And, I mean, about Anthony Powell and Oscar Romero. And, man, some of the guys, Aligwe, Jamie Lovegrove, some of these other folks are going to have to step up, especially down 5-2.
Lee assisted Powell at 3:59 in the second, even strength. When Powell assisted Oscar Romero, his first goal in his second game with the Outlaws, making it 3-2, and it looked like Mesquite was right back in this game, but Alessandro Canali would score, assisted by Cox at 7-12, an even strength goal midway through the second period made it 4-2, and then Mexon was able to score, assisted by Ramos, at 12:16 of the second. The Outlaws got a couple of chances there late in the half to pull one back before the interval, but they weren't able to get it in the back of the net, and they go to the locker room down by 3. It's the second time tonight they've trailed by 3 goals.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration on their faces as they're walking to the locker room. They got to stop. They got to get themselves collected. They get it back in this game. This is a 3-goal game to tie it up. 4 to win. You saw the push by Aligwe at the very frustration the Outlaws are feeling. He just literally went over and just shoved the player, the Tacoma Stars player, to the ground. And you think with a game like this where it's chippy and there's a lot of physical play, the Outlaws, they're a big physical team, but Tacoma, they just seem to be how do I say it, more intelligently physical. Is that they're being a little smarter with their play, but they're chipping and they're shoving and they're pushing. But their passing has been incredibly crisp.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think they've just been better on the ball through the first half of
Yeah.
play. The only blue card was shown to Oscar Romero, a pushing call at 6:25 the first, and that led to the Pereira shootout goal that broke the seal on the scoring here tonight. And at the half, Tacoma has a 5-2 lead over the Mesquite Outlaws. There's other action tonight around the MASL. The Baltimore Blast taking on the Florida Tropics tonight. Florida got back in the win column following a 6-5 loss to Milwaukee with a 17-4 win over Rochester last night, as Joey Tavernese scored 4 goals and had an assist. The Tropics had 50 shots in that victory. Florida coming into the night 4-0 on the road, led by Ricardo Carvalho, who has 9 goals and 9 assists for the Tropics. Baltimore came into the night winners of their last 2, 4-4 on the season. They recorded the first shutout of the season by beating Rochester 11-0 before defeating Utica 5-4. They lost their last meeting with the Tropics 7-2. And those two teams meeting tonight at the SECU Arena, and in overtime, the Tropics come away with a 7-6 victory tonight, beating the Blast for the second time this season. So Baltimore falls below 500. Carvalho tonight with a goal and 2 assists, scoring the game winner in overtime to give the Tropics a 7-6 victory. Again, that game played at the SECU Arena in Baltimore tonight, and Florida comes away with another 1-goal victory. Also tonight, Milwaukee taking on Kansas City. Milwaukee extended their winning streak to 4 games with a 6-3 win over Mesquite on New Year's Eve. Ian Bennett has 10 goals for the Wave with 16, returning home for a 3-game homestand, hoping to get back to 500 after suffering a 7-6 loss at St. Louis. The Comets led by Leo Gibson, who entered the night with 10 goals and 7 assists. They're in the fourth quarter now. The Wave on top, 5-2, in the fourth quarter at Silverstein Ice Centers Arena. Milwaukee with the lead. They have scored 3 goals in the fourth quarter. Alex Bradley with 2 of those goals. Ian Bennett just scored against the 6th attacker to make it 6-2 Wave. So that's where we stand right now at the Silverstein Ice Center Arena in Kansas City. The Comets are trailing 6-2, being outshot 33-20. Rochester seeking their first win of the season, and I lost last. 4 wins over Rochester this season. outscoring the Lancers 37-13. Dominic Francis leading the Heat this season with 13 goals in his first 6 games. And as we check the action tonight at the ROC Dome, Harrisburg has jumped out to a 6-2 lead, out shooting the Lancers 25-16. And again, they are just about ready to start the third quarter at the ROC Dome. They pushed that game back, the start time of that game, for the Buffalo Bills game, and the Bills ended up losing to the Texans in overtime after they had a 16-6 lead in that game. And for those fans in upstate New York, it's not a happy night right now, as the Lancers are also trailing 5-3 after the Texans beat the Bills 22-19 in their NFL playoff game. There's 3 Western Division games to be played tomorrow. Tacoma will visit Dallas to complete this 6-game road trip. And right now the Stars lead the Outlaws 5-2 at half. Monterey looks to remain undefeated, looking for their 7th straight win to start the season as they host St. Louis. The Ambush coming off a 12-7 loss at Sonora. By the way, Sonora's won 2 of their last 3 games. Enrique Cañas scored 5 goals last night. St. Louis is 3-4 and looking for their first rupture. On to as Boris Pardo that game. After losing its season opener to Turlock 7-6, San Diego has now reeled off 6 straight wins. Ontario goes into that game coming off an 8-7 loss to Sonora, which scored the game winner in the final minute as Manuel Aragon scored with 35 seconds remaining. Taking a look at the season-long Stars points race, Slavica Jubaparapovic of San Diego, Ian Bennett of Milwaukee, and Tony Walls of St. Louis all have 100 points. Leo Gibson and Max Ferdinand each have 90 points. Walls has been the number 1 star 3 times this season. Nick Pereira of Tacoma has 60 points, earning the number 2 star on 3 occasions. For Mesquite, Anthony Powell has 40 points, while Jamie Lovegrove, Vic Moraligwe, George De Leon, and Pollo Cortez each have 30 points. And we'll keep you posted on the Stars points race throughout the course of the season. Right now we're watching the Tacoma Stars, and they have a 5-2 lead over the Mesquite Outlaws. What might Mesquite do in the second half to kind of change things up?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the score sheet here, Pete, you notice something stands out that's pretty substantial. Vic Moraligwe, 0 shots on goal. Jamie Lovegrove, 1 shot on goal. Both of those men, I mean, 1 shot on goal through an entire half for both of those guys. That's almost unheard of. I think it's almost easy to see, and we talked about it a little bit. I just wanted to validate myself that neither one of those guys has had many shots. The guy that's leading the team in shots, Oscar Romero, has 3. So you got to see folks like Anthony Powell, he's got a shot on goal, but Lovegrove and I think even Oteze, who's had some success scoring of late, also has no shots on goal. They need to get more shots on goal.
The Stars took a 2-0 lead in the first quarter, outshooting the Outlaws in that period 5-3. The Outlaws did manage to outshoot Tacoma in the second quarter 7-5. They were outscored in the period 3-2 as the Stars go to the locker room leading 5-2. And I'm impressed with the Stars. You mentioned their passing.
Yeah.
But it's not like the Outlaws are getting run out of the building here tonight.
No, they're not. They're not. It's not there yet. I mean, it could be if they don't get their heads up a little bit. But, too many times they're allowing that passer, that free man running down the field. I mean, that was the Pereira, the free kick goal. That's how he set that up. There was a free man running down the field. The Alex Megson goal also free running down the middle of the field. And, the Outlaws, they've got to be a little more disciplined, which is surprising because their defense is really what they've been thriving on. Speaking of Megson, I see him warming up. He looks to be moving okay. So I know he was kind of beaten, dinged up there at the end of the half. The Outlaws have not yet come out, so we haven't seen Mike Jones yet. But just letting the folks at home know that Alex Megson looks to be all right.
That is good news. Eduardo Cortez in goal tonight has made 4 saves. It's been his toughest night, but some of these, it's hard to blame Cortez. I mean, the first goal Mexon scored was a tremendous bicycle kick. Yeah. He kind of got taken to school a little bit by Pereira on the shootout.
Yeah.
But that could have happened to any goalkeeper.
Honestly, I mean, it faked me out. I mean, which is not hard to do. But, man, I mean, the fake kick, I think, was what really did it. And then the second one, you thought for sure he was going to shoot it. And that brought Eduardo Cortez down to the ground to kind of stop it. And then, boom, right on that right side. And Pereira, man, he's so good. And the wily veteran down there just running the show.
Danny Waltman has made 3 saves tonight, but maybe his biggest save was keeping Tacoma from scoring an own goal on a back pass.
That's a great point, Pete. You're right. And I mean, what a mistake that would have been. And, man, heady play. He slid over, pulled it out, did not go all the way across. I think a piece of the ball actually did go across, but didn't break the plane completely. And here is Mike Jones coming out, walking onto the field. We'll see if he goes in, but he's
the first one out of one of the first ones out of the locker room.
Yeah. So I think he probably got some extra tape. You can see Clark Benning there checking on him, making sure he's all right. Teammates. So many of these guys have played for so long, really care about each other. Not just teammates, but friends.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out for maybe Stars fans who haven't seen the Outlaws, these guys played together for the Dallas Sidekicks.
Yeah, that's a great point. You're absolutely right. I mean, a big chunk of the veterans on this Mesquite Outlaws team. This is a brand new franchise. A lot of the folks came over from the Dallas Sidekicks. They wanted to play. I mean, look, you had an opportunity to play with Tattoo, arguably one of the best to ever play this sport. I'm going to go and play for Tattoo. He's feisty. He's no easy guy to play for, but certainly a man that knows how to play this game and is a legend, of course, in arena soccer.
You know, what strikes me about Tattoo is that he can be tough on you, but he's fair.
He is. No, you're absolutely right. He'll jump on you. And I'll tell you, he coached me for about 30 seconds in indoor when I was 10, 12 years old, and I was terrified of him. He's loud, he's vocal, he's yelling, and, you just don't know what to expect. But, I mean, such a kind guy, and the soccer knowledge is just – he's a genius level. I think you could say that.
You just have to know not to take it personal.
Exactly.
Because he's just trying to make you better. Caceres with a long ball as play resumes here in the third quarter. Cox sends one across the face of goal. Jones chested down in the corner as he's marked by Ramos. We're underway in the third. The Stars lead 5-2. The Outlaws need something good to happen here early in the third quarter.
Boy, I'll tell you, Tacoma Stars came out and just got that ball.
Sean David is open down the right flank, but Waltman comes out and makes a save. Jones fires, and that's blocked. He gets a second bite of the cherry, and Waltman makes the save and quickly distributes long.
Wow, Danny Waltman coming up big twice there. Incredible stop on the first one. The Mike Jones was through traffic, but still to be able to track it and block it. Impressive save by the veteran Danny Waltman.
We've played nearly a minute of the third quarter. Vic Moraligwe. That's a nice pass into space, and then a ball that's sent into the back of the net. Romero has his second goal of the season, his second goal of the game, and it's a 2-goal difference. Tacoma leads 5-3.
Man, what a play. Vic Moraligwe just to the right side, and Romero from an impossible angle on the over the top of Danny Waltman. And it looked like he hit it with his right foot, but was going right with it. Wow, what a play by the rookie Romero. Man, he's coming on. I guess he needs to shoot more.
Maybe he's the guy.
He's the guy.
Maybe it's the red shoes.
Sporting those beautiful red shoes. We know the Red Shoe Rangers are out here. They play in Texas.
So we said something good needs to happen for the Outlaws early in the third. Well, it's happened. And they've drawn to within 2 goals. Twice they've been down by 3. Last time they narrowed the gap to 1. And Powell's trying to do the same thing here. Weaving his way through traffic. Plays it back to Cardenas. 13 and a half minutes remaining here in the third.
Rio spilled there and no call. I mean, they're not calling anything right now at all. They put their whistles away.
I guess fans could complain, well, this should have been a foul, that should have been a foul. Yeah. I like the way this game's being officiated. They're letting the players decide the outcome of this game.
I agree. There's been a couple of times where maybe they should have whistled it, but Yeah, they're letting them play. They're fighting it out. See there, the
Here's
hand
some
checking.
Physical play along the wall, and a ball sent into the area. Pereira gets to it first. Lee hassling him from behind. Rio also there, and it's Rio who comes away with possession. Gets it to Cardenas, who lifts it across halfway and finds Powell along the left wing. Powell draws a crowd, gets tripped up. Johnson not called for a foul. The official says play on.
My goodness. And I could have been called in any other game, Pete.
We've seen it called.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the officiating's been consistent, and that's really.
Yes, they didn't call it one thing. They didn't call it later either. Yeah, you just hope they maintain this through the rest of the game, because we've seen that where they do that and then they don't, and then they shift at the end of the game. Don't do that to us.
Well, and I think that's somewhat up to the players as well. Can they stay controlled in this type of game?
Valid point. Good point.
Because if they lose control, then the officials have to take over.
Yeah.
Hansen at halfway. Plays it back to Caceres, to the keeper Waltman. Waltman right up the middle on handball.
Yeah, it's a handball, which is, a great job by Oteze there.
Canan, he touched the ball with his hand.
Yeah, not allowing the turn by Oteze was a beautiful job.
Canale thought it was going to be a foul called against Oteze. Valadez off his chest goes down and gets a free kick.
Now that one got called because he completely turned his rear end around and stuck it out.
Lovegrove gets the free kick. Lays it off to the wing. That's put on frame. A second shot goes wide left for Cardenas.
Nice stop by Danny Waltman with his right hand. Cardenas just couldn't quite get it on net.
Cardenas battling in a crowd along the boards. And then it goes over the boards out of play. Tacoma will get the restart out of their own end with 11:27 to play in the third. Up by 2, 5-3.
In chippy games like this, the guy you typically see mixing it up is Sean David. And I haven't seen him one bit, not once.
Great point.
I mean, normally he hasn't done anything. He's been pretty clean.
I mean, his resume would suggest that he'd be one to get out of control, though.
Absolutely.
So you want to make sure that he stays in check. This is Cox on the ground to the feet of Ramos. Ramos moves inside the Mesquite line into the area.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
A one-touch goal for Pereira, who's got the hat trick, scoring his 12th goal of the season. And once again, the Stars lead by 3, 6-3.
And Mike Ramos, just a great job sliding the ball across. Nick Pereira wide open in the back post. Again, you can't leave a guy wide goals, and they're paying the price for it. I think Mike Ramos must have heard I was dogging him out because he had so many goals and not enough assists. I mean, that's his third assist today, Pete.
Fourth of the season.
I think they got together, and Pereira said, "Look, here's the thing. I got all the assists. You need to get some assists on your resume, Mike."
The goal coming 4 minutes into the third as the Stars reclaim a 3-goal advantage. Aligwe gets ahead on this one, and Waltman scoops it up on a short hop.
Yeah, they're just denying Aligwe every time he's going after the ball. They're not allowing him to collect and turn. Just some great defense by Tacoma.
Another shot goes wide. Mexon looking to get a hat trick. And 10:20 to play in the third.
What's frustrating for the Outlaws is every time they get a goal, there's an immediate answer from Tacoma, and that's kind of how you have to play the game. You one-up them constantly, and it's frustrating. You can see they're just downtrodden, and the crowd's feeling it too here. You can see the attitude, the atmosphere.
Yeah, things have gotten pretty quiet here.
Yeah.
Definitely got quiet after Pereira's goal.
Oteze can't believe it. He goes, "Man, you haven't been calling that all game." Clearly, though, a push down by Oteze.
Sam Zassette, who did not see a lot of action in the first half, if any, is the man that went down.
Yeah, a few players we haven't seen. Nunez for the Outlaws as well is here.
He is active tonight.
Yeah, we haven't seen.
Waltman's in trouble, but
Oh.
Powell sends that one over the goal.
Wow, a nifty opportunity by Anthony Powell. Just lifted it. Knew he had to lift it a little bit. Just a little too high. Great idea, though.
Less than 10 minutes to play in the third. Stars matching their largest lead of the game, up by 3. This is Caceres along the wall to Johnson.
Yeah, just such great movement by the Tacoma Stars. Constant communication on the field.
Stars trying to break a 4-game losing streak. They've been on the road for all 4 of those games. They will have played 6 straight road games after they play the Sidekicks tomorrow in Allen. Pereira goes down and Cardenas gets called for the foul.
Yeah, that's a clear trip by Cardenas.
9:17 remaining in the third. Jones will restart play for the Stars. He's looking for a target man, but sends it back to Waltman. Waltman plays a wall pass for Pereira right at the Mesquite line, marked by Cardenas, and it's out of play.
And Cardenas, another guy who, he's got a couple shots on goal, but he's another threat who can score.
Look out, Cox moving in, and he scores. And now the Stars have a 4-goal lead, up 7-3 on the Outlaws.
Man, Nick Pereira just putting on a passing clinic out there. Gets the ball one time back in the net to Cox. Man, it's such an impressive player. The Outlaws, they're just running into nifty little pass out. Again, another free man running down the side of the field. And, the Outlaws, they just look overmatched right now.
That's the 4th goal in the 6th game for Cox. And the Stars up 7-3. Ligwe taken down by McCluskey.
McCluskey saying, wait, that wasn't a foul earlier.
This is Ellis moving up the left wing boards.
Cody Ellis just muscled off the ball there.
Foul stops play here. That's on Jones.
Yeah, it's now 2-3 calls I've seen where they weren't called previously and they're being called now.
Sean David's going to get a yellow card, and he'll be in the penalty box for 5 minutes for dissent.
Sean, and right on cue, Sean David.
I told you he's got to keep those emotions in check.
He's fiery, and it's one of those. I don't agree. I think the dissent card has been pulled out too much this season.
He didn't do anything to show up the official, but he might have used one of the magic words.
He very possibly did, and it's Sean. So
Lovegrove sends it ahead to Ligwe. Ligwe has it off the corner boards. Ramos is there for the Stars. Now Romero wins it. Stars not able to get it cleared until now. And men go tumbling down to the turf wearing the headband.
No, he's
one of the men that went down for the Outlaws.
Yeah, he and Ligwe both not wearing their Rambo headbands. I don't know what else to call them, the Rambo look.
Canali was the man who went down for the Stars. Palmerin restarts play. It gets cleared to Lovegrove. He volleys it to the left side. Romero then chips it toward the corner. Ligwe chases it down, heads it to the area, but it's intercepted by Pereira.
And look at the defense. The Tacoma Stars, every man was back on that run. Every single player, all 5 of them were back in their zone defending on those 2 players. They're just swarming defense.
Jones pushes it across halfway. Powell working his way in toward goal, but turns it over. Seven and a half minutes remaining here in the third. The Stars have taken a 4-goal lead. They've scored 4 of the last 5 goals in this game.
Tacoma just running their egg beaters, just running around, making runs, constantly active and moving, looking for that outlet. The camera is always focused on the man with the ball, but what's impressive is the off-ball movement.
Ramos sends one across halfway. A one-touch pass to the right side by Johnson is sent over the wall. It was intended for Jones, and there's a timeout with 6:47 to play here in the third. Tacoma leading Dallas 7-3. Outside of being on the team, the best way to know what's happening in the MASL is to tune in to Kick This. Every weekend, Soccer Sam discusses the ins and outs of all the MASL action. Find Kick This every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on iHeartRadio. You're watching the Mesquite Outlaws on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV. I'm Pete Steinlow and Matt Thornton. And the Stars have a 7-3 lead as they try to end a 4-game losing streak, playing the first of a back-to-back. They're in Allen tomorrow afternoon to take on the Dallas Sidekicks, who were here last night and lost to the Outlaws 7-1. The Outlaws struggling on the second night of a back-to-back.
Yeah, man, these Tacoma Stars have been shining bright. Their precision passing has been incredibly crisp. Nick Pereira, every time he pulls in that second defender, he passes out of it, seems to find a wide-open player who puts it in the back of the net. Right now, the Outlaws, they're really struggling just to stay. They're struggling to stay with man up. Very surprising because they've really been so good at defense this whole season. And again, I got to ask the question, Pete, is it just that they play the Dallas Sidekicks extremely well? I mean, you got to ask.
Well, as long as that's the only team you've beaten, it's the question that's going to keep coming up. This is a Tacoma team that came into tonight averaging just over 5 goals a game with 6:47 to play in the third. They've got 7 against the Outlaws, who came in with the reputation of being a good defensive team. Now, some of these goals from the Stars have been spectacular goals.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
Valadez knocks it down at the Tacoma line, sends it back to Rio. Valadez again the target man, chested down, and the whistle stopped play before the shot was delivered.
Yeah, I think they're going to get
Valadez.
Yeah, sorry. I think his offhand, he pushed off with his offhand is what they got him on.
Third, Cox on the right side gets it to Canale.
Wow, what a
Over
play
to
by
Hansen.
Canale.
Hansen delivers the pass and then goes to the bench.
That's a great example there. You see what Canale did. He collected on both sides, wingers running up the field, and that's where Outlaws are getting beat almost every time. They did a nice job, though, staying with those off-man runners and took the ball back. But, man, the Tacoma Stars are putting on a clinic out here tonight.
The Outlaws out shooting the Stars here in the third, 5-2, but both of the shots for the Stars have gone into the back of the net, and they've taken a 7-3 lead. Cox over to McCluskey. Ramos off the bench, receives the pass, sends it up the left wing boards for Canale, marked by Rio. Valadez trying to win the ball away. It's turned right back over to Johnson. Back to Waltman, who gets it to McCluskey. As we go under the 5-minute mark here in the third, the Outlaws down by 4.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the Tacoma Stars, I don't think they have a lot of urgency necessarily to try to get the ball up the field, although there's a long pass from Waltman.
Ramos volleys it. McCluskey at the top of the arc heads it back to Pereira. The Stars have had a 3-goal run and a pair of 2-goal runs in this game. Mesquite scored back-to-back goals to make it 3-2, but since then, Tacoma has scored 4 of the last 5 goals. The pass to Johnson is taken away. Ellis gets into the passing lane.
Great job by Ellis there. He really needed to get possession.
Lee looking for Oteze, who's making the run, but he gets cut off by Caceres.
And you made a point earlier, the possession game. I mean, Tacoma, I mean, it's got to be, well, maybe 60, 70% at least, Pete.
Looks like 64% possession right now.
Okay.
No,
all right.
We don't really.
That's incredibly precise.
Unfortunately, in the MASL, they don't keep those numbers, but there's my Brad Gilbert impersonation.
There you go. And you did well. It was beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The middle from Waltman and then gets it back to the keeper. He got pushed down, did Correa.
Yeah.
No call forthcoming as the Stars have the advantage. And Mexon has a chance at a hat trick as he fires, but up to the task. Diving to his left is Cortez.
Yeah, nice job by Cortez there. And guess what? Pereira got the ball with his back to the goal and immediately distributed over to Alex Mexon, running free down the right side. Stop me if you've heard this.
Here's Correa.
I mean,
for the first time tonight into the game for the Outlaws.
Here's Anthony Powell with a shot.
Nunez.
Oh, my goodness. Good opportunity. Danny Waltman there got the block, gets up hobbling just a tad, Pete, but great opportunity by Anthony Powell.
Ramon Nunez making his first appearance on the floor for the Outlaws. He's a guy that's played at a very high level for Honduras, played for their national team.
Yeah, he's been impressive in his minutes that he's had, and maybe Tattoo saying, hey, let's get the guy a little bit of minutes here late in this game. They obviously, they need a little pep. You can see the Outlaws heads down, discouraged.
Ball. Romero corrals it in front of the Outlaw bench. I think he was trying to get it back to Jones, but Cortez comes out of the area. And the Outlaws have possession. They haven't seen a lot of the ball here in the third quarter. 2.5 minutes remaining in the period, and the Outlaws are down 7-3. Romero is the target. Heads it to the right side. Nunez has the shot blocked right back to him. Gets it back from Romero to Ellis with 2:18 to play.
Good work there. Romero and Nunez on the wall.
Here's Romero, who scored twice tonight. Jones nearing the 2-minute mark here in the third. It's been a period dominated by Tacoma with goals from Pereira and Cox.
Outlaws finally with some possession here.
See if they can do something with it.
Good defense.
They lose it. McCluskey takes it away.
Good defense by the Tacoma Stars. Both players timing that perfectly.
Hansen gets this back to Waltman.
Tacoma's defense has impressed me tonight, Pete. I mean, they've done a really nice job. They close down quickly. They're exiting. Pollo Cortez distributes out to Jamie Lovegrove there. Man, I'd like to see Lovegrove turn and run.
Lovegrove finds Romero. In a crowd, tried to split two defenders and lands awkwardly down on top of one of the Stars. It was Johnson who almost had his head smashed in when Lovegrove fell to the ground.
I don't know how that's not a card. I mean, to me, you throw your entire body into the man with the ball, and I mean that's not dangerous, Pete. I don't know what dangerous is. That's a broken leg potentially there. You're talking about the full body into the player's knee.
Cardenas lays it off to Lovegrove, who shoots over the corner glass, goes wide of the goal.
Jamie wanted that one badly.
Outlaws need it badly. They're down 7-3 with 59 seconds to play here in the third.
And you can just feel the atmosphere. Dejected are the Outlaws.
I like the band being present here.
Yeah, the band's great.
That's a pretty cool. I've always thought that's a good idea in indoor soccer to have a band.
Vic Moralique reached up and batted the ball to his feet. That's an easy call.
Waldman with a long ball. David will intercept off the wall, get it to Cardenas. Correa there defensively for the Stars. 30 seconds to play in the third.
Yeah, the Outlaws doing a little better job of maintaining possession now.
Lovegrove to Aligwe. Aligwe not able to get around McCluskey, but McCluskey's called for the foul. Aligwe ended up on the carpet and will get a free kick with 20 seconds to play in the third. Lovegrove restarts play to Cardenas. Back to Lovegrove, tees it up, fires, it's blocked. Blocked by Pereira, out of play over the corner glass.
Yeah, both Pereira and Mexon just giving their bodies up, going for the block. Tacoma just looks like they're on a mission here today.
From the corner, Lovegrove. Out to Cardenas, 14 seconds left in the period. Jones to Cardenas. The Outlaws not able to look at a clock as they face goal here. 4 seconds left. The only clock is behind them, and a foul called in front of the Stars bench. Eligwe called for the foul, and that'll do it. We've come to the end of the third quarter. The Tacoma Stars have a 7-3 lead entering the fourth period, scoring twice in the third. Pereira and Cox, the goal scorers in the third period for the Tacoma Stars, who came into the night with a 4-game losing streak. Remember that you can follow the MASL by watching MASL Primetime. It's the new home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL every week. The latest episode drops every Friday as Alex Bashuvansky hosts the 30-minute deep dive into the MASL. Be sure to catch every episode, as I know Matt Thornton has.
I have, indeed. Alex is doing a beautiful job with that show. It's fun. It's crisp. It keeps us all up to date. If you don't want to go back and watch every MASL TV minute, you can go and see the summary, kind of an ESPN style, if you will. It's a nice job, really doing a great job with it.
You're watching the Mesquite Outlaws on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV.
Better 7-3, unfortunately not connecting with the back of the net, but as you mentioned, leading now, Mesquite 17-13 over Tacoma in shots. And I thought they did a little better job there at the end of the quarter, the Outlaws did, of getting some of the possession, but man, most of the possession time you've got to give to the Tacoma Stars, and they're just doing a great job of at this point, kind of shutting it down, eliminating opportunities for the Outlaws.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you're following MASL Soccer on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter.
Handle.
It's a little addictive.
At Pete Stein.
At Pete Stein Sports.
Sports, there you go. All right. Get you a little plug. Maybe we can get you some more followers.
Get a couple more followers. That'll make my day.
Yeah, notice I didn't give you mine.
Yeah. You're a lot more active on social media than I am.
Oh, I don't know about that. I just pretend better. Now it's been a fun game. Disappointing for the Outlaws here heading into the fourth, but I think if you're at Tacoma, man, you've got to really feel excited. I mean, coming off that 9-2 loss against the Kansas City Comets, feeling down, going 2-5. Not a Tacoma team that has year in, year out been very good.
Oh, yeah.
And not a 2-5 team that we've seen very often. But this has got to give their fan base a lot of hope.
Through the first three quarters, there's been 28 fouls, 15 called on the Outlaws and 13 called on Tacoma. Sean David is out of the penalty box, by the way. He served 5 minutes for dissent. The Stars with 7 block shots in this game. The Outlaws have only been credited with 2 block shots. As the fourth quarter gets underway, Ellis from a bad angle tried to get one in, but that one is over the goal and out of play.
Yeah, we'll see if there's a sense of urgency now with the Outlaws to try to get, some goals going early.
Ellis with a shot, deflected around and cleared out. Sean David at halfway is able to sweep that back to Cortez for the Outlaws.
Great job by Sean David, man. Not an easy play, but he made it look easy.
Here's Aligwe going to his right. Caceres there defensively. Aligwe still battling as DeLuna comes in, stands on the ball, and gets it cleared out to halfway. Cortez will run up on it. We're in the first minute of the fourth quarter. The Outlaws trail Tacoma 7-3. One night after beating Dallas 7-1, evening their record at 3-3. Aligwe in the corner, double teamed, able to play a wall pass to Ellis, who quickly sends a square ball to Lovegrove, and he misfires wide right.
And again, Tacoma moving as a team, all came back on defense.
Rio up the right wing boards, off the corner boards, it's spinning on the goal line. It would not go across. Ellis fires right into Waltman. Aligwe not able to muscle one past the keeper. Lovegrove with a shot that's blocked. Heads it into the area, and a whistle stops play as Lovegrove ends up on the ground.
Wow, back-to-back-to-back incredible saves by Danny Waltman. That one slipped through his leg. I thought for sure somebody's going to be able to pop in there and get in the back of the net, but man, Waltman standing strong. The veteran doing a great job.
Lovegrove fires off the restart and sends one over the glass and into the bleachers behind the goal.
Yeah, that went right into the Dos Equis bottle behind the – boy, a few of those point-blank shots from guys like Jamie Lovegrove. Man.
We played nearly 2 minutes here in the fourth quarter. Hanson, marked by Lee, back to Waltman. Waltman's been really good tonight.
He has, yeah.
In every phase.
Bailed out his defender early. I think you're right. That might have been the save of the game.
Until that last flurry, that might have been his best save.
Yep.
Cortez has made 5 saves on the other end for the Outlaws.
Yes, they're denying Pereira.
Here, crosses halfway, side boots it to Romero. Back to Cardenas to Jones. Jones appeared to injure his arm at the end of the first half, but has been active throughout the second half.
Yeah, and you see it looks like fresh tape on his left arm there, but doesn't seem to be showing any effects.
Mexon in a battle, and it's eventually Romero who settles it, and the Outlaws have possession. Right now, Tacoma content to stay back.
Yeah. Maybe Romero's best game of his career. I mean, really impressive.
Ooh, I thought Cardenas had a chance to maybe pull the trigger there. Instead, he tried to play it back to Powell. And Waltman is able to scoop it up, no problem. Ahead to Mexon. Three minutes into the fourth quarter, 12 minutes remaining in the game. Tacoma with a 7-3 lead.
Nice job, Cardenas coming up and denying the pass. Oh, Brendan Lee.
Gets area and going for the flying volley was Powell. Still has a chance in the corner. Back heels the pass to Romero, who slices one wide. Comes out to Lee. Goes for goal, but sends one into the corner seats.
Yeah, Anthony Powell, man, great job there getting that ball high. Had an opportunity, and what was impressive, found the rebound and got up immediately and maintained possession. Nice little flurry of opportunity there by Anthony Powell.
Mesquite now out shooting Tacoma 20-13.
I think Powell's still kind of learning to play with his back to the goal, Pete. Oh,
here's a shot from Valadez. Waltman sends it away and out of play.
Valadez says, I'm not giving up yet.
I don't think it's been a lack of effort from the Outlaws here tonight.
No.
But Tacoma's been very sharp.
They have. You can see the pure talent from Anthony Powell. He's still kind of learning to play with his back to the goal. But, man, once he gets that facet, kid's going to be next level incredible. He's got such fast feet, quick shot.
Ellis looking for a target, instead goes to Rio. Ellis receives it. Off the end boards into the area. Nunez comes into the picture. Valadez goes for the bicycle kick, but his goes over the goal and out of play.
Nunez, great job there on the left side, just flicked it over. Valadez flicked it up to himself. Was going to try to mimic the Alex Megson bicycle kick, but couldn't quite get around to get it down. Went a little bit high over the goal. Here's the opportunity again.
Waltman with long distribution.
Just missed. Just missed high.
McCluskey battling with the league way along the boards. McCluskey goes down.
Call a league way for it. Doesn't like it, of course. He's got to be careful. He's going to get descent here.
Have not been able to contain Pereira tonight. He's had a great game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 6'3", as big as he is. He just moves so smooth.
Chased by Cardenas here. Pereira gets it over to Jones. This is Johnson playing it back to the keeper. Waltman sends one through the middle third.
Great job.
Gets in front of Megson. Plays it to Nunez. Pushed down by Pereira. No call. Cardenas back to Oteze.
Yeah, beautiful job by Ramiro denying Alex Megson the ball. Created an opportunity for the Outlaws.
Lovegrove moves up the left wing boards, plays it to the top of the arc. Taken away by Johnson to Pereira. Plays it into Lovegrove, and Lovegrove comes away with possession, but is double teamed along the boards. Lovegrove is able to pry it off the boards to Jones, and once again takes a shot, I think, in that arm again.
Yeah, it was either in the...
maybe not. He's holding his ribs, it looks like.
I was going to say, it looked like it was in the midsection there, number 9, Derek Johnson. And he was going after the ball, so it's incidental, but, man, that sure hurt. It hurt me watching it, yeah.
Here's Sean David playing it to Jones, to Lovegrove. With 8:45 to play, Lovegrove approaches the line and turns it over to Correa. Sean David battling Correa. Skips over the wall out of play.
Into the head of a fan on the wall.
They warn you got to watch out for flying soccer balls.
They did. Can't be, I don't know that you can be closer to any sport, a professional sport.
One just wide. Ramos is in the area trying to get it cleared. Ellis is able to get it to Jones. Jones plays it to Sean David, who moves to the top of the arc and then lays it back for Jones. He settles it at the Tacoma line into the area. A little pushing and shoving going on there, and Powell is dispossessed. Played off the wall, taken away by Powell.
Good job by Powell. He lost the ball, knew it, came back, and got it back.
Now Lovegrove has it with 8 minutes to play in the fourth. The Stars lead 7-3. We've not had a goal since Cox scored at 5:55 of the third. All but one of the goals have come even strength. Pereira's first goal of the game came on the power play off a shootout. Powell in the area, can't control it. Cardenas is able to get it to the chest of Lovegrove. Lovegrove moves toward the middle to Jones. Cuts it back to Lovegrove. Lovegrove getting it over there toward his left foot. Into the wing, off the inboards, around the boards, and into the hands of Waltman as Lovegrove got pushed down.
Yeah.
It'll be a free kick, a restart for the Outlaws with 7:19 to play in the fourth.
Number 26, De Luna pushed him right into the wall.
Jones, timeout taken with 7:17 to play in the fourth. Tacoma leads 7-3.
The Mesquite Outlaws would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Miter share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Miter's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League Pay. Mitres Austro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced.
Tonight as they beat the Baltimore Blast 7-6. The Milwaukee Wave are rolling. They handed the Tropics their only loss of the year. And tonight, Milwaukee wins at Kansas City 8-3. And the Harrisburg Heat burned the Rochester Lancers 7-3. Rochester remains winless.
Yeah, tough day for Pete.
Man, the Bills, I thought they had command of that game when we looked at it briefly as we were preparing. And then all of a sudden we looked again, and the Texans had come back, and they win.
Yeah, great Bills defense. Got to give it to our neighbors to the south of Dallas and Houston, coming back in OT.
So it's still been since, 99 since the Bills won a playoff game?
Oh, man, yeah. Bills fans are not a few Super Bowls.
They may not be the only city that would say that.
That is true.
I remember when the Sidekicks used to play the Philadelphia Kicks. Kicks fans were vehemently against Dallas, mainly because of their hate of the Cowboys. It was crazy.
Oh, those Philadelphia fans.
Right now, the Tacoma Stars handling the Mesquite Outlaws, leading 7-3. Play resumes after the timeout, and Mexon, who scored on a brilliant bicycle kick early in this game, goes to the bench after delivering the pass. Nexon, he's the man they call the Elegant Assassin,
yes,
right? That's
yes,
a great
indeed.
nickname.
I know it is. It's funny.
Canale with a nice little pass here, looking for Ramos, who goes tumbling over the wall. May have been looking for the call. Cardenas saying, "You got to be joking. Get out of here."
Yeah, I know. Come on, dude. Really? I mean, he clearly jumped up on the wall. Nobody's buying it, brother. It's a good try. It's a good try.
Cardenas restarts play with 6:35 to play in the fourth. The Outlaws down by 4. This is the largest lead of the game for Tacoma. They took an early 3-0 lead, and the Outlaws came back to make it 3-2, but since then it's really been all Stars. They've scored 4 of the last 5 goals. We've not had a goal scored here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, some decent pressure from the Outlaws.
The Outlaws have had most of the fourth quarter possession. This ball is sent in. Nunez was there on the back post, but Waltman moving to his right. He gets a grip on it. Keeps this a 4-goal game.
Yeah, just a body on Nunez just kind of cleared him out of the way and eliminated the threat. Again, nice defense there.
Powell applying some high pressure here. Waltman will send it across halfway. Cortez will control for the Outlaws. Gets it to Nunez in the referee crease. Nunez slices it through the area. Ellis making the run on the left side, but couldn't finish.
Waltman, beautiful job to get his left foot out and even stop the ball from his keister. Cody Ellis, if he had lifted just a little bit, that's a goal.
Just over 5 minutes remaining. Hansen moves up the left wing boards with a nifty move and then switches it to the right side. McCluskey has it in the center circle.
So I got to wonder out loud, are the Dallas Sidekicks, are they stoked about the hard work being put in by the Tacoma Stars?
I'm sure they want the Outlaws to take everything they can out of the Stars tonight. Here's Sean David, back to Powell.
Good piece of defending there by
I would think that the Sidekicks would have some scouts here tonight.
Yeah.
But Simone Moses has repeatedly told us he doesn't really care about the opposition. There's a long shot sent into the corner seats.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He doesn't really game plan for another team. He doesn't game plan for a Nick Pereira necessarily. He tries to play his system. He thinks if his system is played effectively, that he'll get a W.
Sidekicks have just the one win over Kansas City, and it was in a similar situation what the Stars will be doing tomorrow afternoon when they face the Sidekicks. Lovegrove approaches the line, plays it to the top of the arc, deflected and stolen away. The Stars have a chance to go on the counterattack as we approach the 4-minute mark. Ramos shadowed by Cardenas, and Oteze comes over to help out.
We should mention
head back to Caceres.
We should mention, Pete, we'll be doing that too tomorrow. You and I both, you did play-by-play for the Sidekicks and the Outlaws, a unique opportunity for us as well as these teams that are coming into town.
Hey, a lot of fans are taking in all three of these games this weekend in the Metroplex. It's pretty cool to have 3 MASL games in one weekend. Last night, the Outlaws beat the Sidekicks here 7-1. This is some sloppy play in the back.
Yeah.
And the Outlaws have possession inside the Tacoma line. Now sent to Oteze with 3:28 to play. Sent back to Lee at halfway. Lovegrove watched by Correa. Switched to the left side to Romero, who scored twice tonight. Looking for another opportunity, but lays it back to Lovegrove.
Yeah, Romero's been very good.
Easy to spot with those red shoes.
Yeah.
Here's Lovegrove. Switching it over to his left. Now back heels a pass to Cardenas. Cardenas finds an open man in the corner. And a goal! And it's Valadez who gets the finish as he receives the ball from the corner and finishes to make this, once again, a 3-goal game.
Great job by Rio on the left side. Kicked it out right there. You can see he pops it over and right into the middle of Valadez is wide open. Boom. Not wide open, actually. He's got a man right on him. Goes to ground and gets it in back of the net and immediately picks up the ball, runs to the circle. He's like, we're not done yet. We're not done yet at all. Nice 1-2 combo from Rio to Valadez.
So play resumes after Valadez scores his first goal of the season. 2:56 remaining in the fourth quarter.
That Valadez rookie, that's a first goal of his career.
How about that? Romero scoring his first 2 goals tonight for the Outlaws, and now Valadez getting on the score sheet.
Rookie stepping it up tonight.
A run up the middle, crosses halfway, has Lee to his right, circles back. Now Powell again goes forward, and he scores! Anthony Powell strikes for the Outlaws. He's got a hat trick tonight.
What an incredible individual effort. Man, Anthony Powell going up, spinning twice, and the shot gets the ball in his own defensive end, runs all the way up, and just an impressive goal by Anthony Powell. He's not giving up. My goodness.
And just like that, it's a 2-goal game, and now Cody Ellis will don the 6th attacker kit. Anthony Powell scoring 29 seconds after Valadez scored, and it goes from a 4-goal lead to a 2-goal lead from the Stars in less than a half minute.
Like that. My goodness, what a fun sport. I mean, it looks done. It looks done. They packed it up. We're ready to go, and boom, all of a sudden, new life. You got your 6th attacker in, Cody Ellis.
Less than 2.5 minutes remaining. Ellis to Cardenas, to Sean David. David in the corner. Marked by McCluskey. Back to Cardenas. Powell looking for another goal. Denied.
Man. I think Valadez might have blocked that shot, unfortunately.
Lovegrove open on the right wing. Oh, tried to lay it back to Ellis, and Ellis wins it back with a sliding tackle as the Stars were trying to get it cleared. It's sent out of play. Man. This is going to be a restart at the top of the arc.
Wow.
And the Outlaws will have a chance to make this a 1-goal game with 1:56 to play in the fourth. Jamie Lovegrove on this re-wall over to Cardenas, and he gets under it and sends it out of play.
Oh, Cardenas, too high, my friend. Oh, man, he wants that one back because he was wide open, had an easy shot on goal.
1:55 remaining in regulation. It's a 2-goal lead for Tacoma. They're up 7-5. They've given up 2 straight goals. They have not scored, Tacoma, since the 5:55 mark of the third when Jameel Cox scored.
And it's trying to get the ball. There's multiple balls on the field.
Stars
and they're finally off.
Stars have been outshot 25-13 in the fourth. Moves in, passes right to Ramos. Look at Ellis.
Wow.
Moves over and wins the ball. Sent dangerously back to Cardenas, but he calmly gets it to Valadez.
Cody Ellis coming completely out of his crease. He said, whatever, I'm a defender. Got that ball from Pereira. Impressive play.
Ellis at the point. Over to Lovegrove. Across to Cardenas with 1:25 to play. To Valadez in the corner. Back to Cardenas. Cardenas to the left wing side. Lovegrove is there. Powell to Lovegrove to Cardenas with 1:12 to play. Cardenas fires, and he hit the crossbar. It comes out to Pereira. He lobs one down the middle. That will bounce off frame as Cardenas gives chase. We hit the 1 minute mark. Cardenas to Lovegrove, running up the left side. Mesquite down by 2. Into the corner for David. To Lovegrove for a one-timer on frame. Save Waltman. Cleared by the Stars as Ramos sends it to halfway with 40 seconds to play. Cardenas to Ellis. Back to Cardenas, who chips it into the area. It's at the feet of Pereira. Pereira tumbles down, and here comes Lovegrove. Back across the Tacoma line. Into the area, around the boards. Cleared out by the Stars, and it hit the structure.
Yeah. They're going to go to the top again.
This will be at the Tacoma line. A quick restart to Ellis. Ellis fires, but the official was not ready. Lovegrove's got to wait for the whistle, and they're going to reset the clock here as well. The clock right now showing 20 seconds. We'll see how much time they end up putting back on.
Lovegrove frustrated with that, but that actually probably helped them out because
they added just one more second. 21 seconds remaining. Lovegrove was looking to catch Tacoma out of position. Sends it to Ellis. Ellis fires. That's on frame. Waltman bats it up in the air and then picks it cleanly and distributes to Pereira.
Great job by Waltman.
Down to the final 10 seconds. Tacoma led by as many as 4 tonight. A long ball here bounces in, and they'll win by 3, 8-5.
Yeah.
They score against the 6th attacker.
Yeah, they tough ending there for the Outlaws, but man, what a flurry of activity.
That's why you got to love the MASL.
Man.
And if you're in the Metroplex, you got a chance to see the Outlaws and the Sidekicks. And Tacoma will double dip. They're playing both teams this weekend. They're in Allen tomorrow to face Dallas, and that'll come on the heels of a 3-goal victory over the Mesquite Outlaws, who will fall to 3-4 after beating Dallas last night 7-1. So that'll do it. Time runs out here at the Mesquite Arena. The Tacoma Stars in their 4-game losing streak, their 5th stop on a 6-game road trip, and they get into the win column by defeating the Mesquite.
14 in shots. A lot of that, I think, happened in maybe the last few minutes.
Well, no doubt. They outshot them in the fourth quarter 11-0.
Yeah.
It's going to be 11-1. They haven't added that last shot that went in on the empty net to make it.
Impressed with how precise they are at their passing. Nick Pereira, I hate to say it, he proved me right. Does everything. Just beautiful job of pulling the extra defender over, and as soon as that defender comes over, boom, he finds that wide open man streaking the opportunity for the Outlaws. It really is.
Well, Tacoma got the momentum early with a couple of spectacular goals. First, they got an early power play. I say early, it was about midway through the first quarter when Oscar Romero got a blue card for pushing. They deemed that Pereira was in a position to score. They gave him a shootout. He made 2 fakes to beat Cortez.
Yeah.
And scored the power play goal off the shootout to make it 1-0. And then Alex Megson on a beautiful ball in from Alex Caceres finishes with a bicycle kick to make it 2-0. And that really gave the Stars the momentum they would need. They pushed the lead to 3 when Pereira scored his 2nd goal of the game. That came even strength at 3:35 of the second. And then Mesquite would strike quickly. Anthony Powell, assisted by Brendan Lee at 3:59, made it a 3-1 game. And less than 2 minutes later, Oscar Romero was scoring his first goal as an Outlaw, assisted by Anthony Powell, to make it 3-2. And the Stars were right back in the game. But before intermission, the Stars would tag on 2 more goals. Alessandro Canali scored, assisted by Jamel Cox, and Mexon would score again to make it 5-2 at 12:16 of the second. So it was 5-2 Tacoma starting the second half. Mesquite would get on the board 61 seconds into the third. Anthony Powell struck again, assisted by Aligwe to make it 5-3, but Tacoma would score the next 2 goals. It would be Pereira scoring, assisted by Ramos, and then Cox assisted by Pereira to give Tacoma their largest lead of the game, 7-3. It would remain that way until 12:03 of the fourth, when Bradley Baladez got a ball from the corner and finished to make it 7-4. 29 seconds later, Anthony Powell was scoring again, his third goal of the game to make it 7-5. It looked like that would be the final until Alex Caceres sent in a long ball that bounced in against the sixth attacker into an empty net with 3 seconds remaining in the game to make it 8-5. And Tacoma snaps a 4-game losing streak. This has been a tough road trip for them, but they start their back-to-back in the Metroplex with an impressive win over Mesquite. This is a Mesquite team that has only been allowing about, 5 goals a game.
Yeah, that's right.
And, in fact, Tacoma came in here. They were scoring just 5 goals a game. And Mesquite, they've been giving up less than 5 goals a game, because you look at what Eduardo Cortez has been doing. He came in with a 3.54 goals against average. So this has been a really good defensive team, the Outlaws. But Tacoma was really sharp tonight.
Man, they were, and I just cannot believe this Tacoma Stars team is 2-5. I mean, look at the product they put on the field tonight. Every pass was so crisp. They're pulling the players over. Their extra defender just constantly drawing the attention to Nick Pereira and finding his wide open player available, streaking, it seemed, every time wide open, either the left, the right, or the middle of the field. And, man, you really got to hand it to Nick.
He opened the scoring. Their leading scorer. He's now got 12 stars who I think are still going to be a factor in this Western Division.
Yeah.
The 4-game losing streak, I think, is a little bit of an anomaly. We saw what this team is capable of, and Pereira's right in the middle of that. And here momentarily, we'll hear from Pereira. We're also hoping to hear from Anthony Powell, who had 3 goals tonight for the Outlaws in what was a highly entertaining MASL match tonight at Mesquite Arena, a game that saw 13 goals, 8 of those for the Tacoma Stars.
Yeah, an impressive game, and I mean, man, you got Alex Megson. We might have seen the goal of the year from Alex Megson. I'll tell you right now, that goal was absolutely impressive, and he didn't leave anything to the imagination on that bicycle kick. Absolutely impressive.
We had 33 fouls tonight, 17 called on the Stars and 16 called on the Outlaws. Nick Pereira is standing by for a post-game interview.
Hey guys, thank you from the broadcast booth up there. I've got Nick Pereira here with the Tacoma Stars. And Nick, well, first of all, congratulations on a great game. How do you feel after that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we needed to win. I think it was an important statement for us coming off of four games lost in a row. So for us to win was obviously a big deal. And, man, it's a different feeling when you win.
And I've been asking some of the teams that we've been playing after the game, when you've got a new franchise team like this, I mean, how do you prepare? You probably don't have a whole lot of film on them. I mean, how do you scout and prepare for a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the guys that we're playing against, or we played against tonight, we know from years past. So we know Vicmore Aligwe and Cody and obviously Jamie Lovegrove and a bunch of these guys that played last year on a different team. So watch a couple games here and analyze them, and how could we play our brand of soccer.
And you said, that you lost 4 in a row and you won this. I mean, do you think that this can turn the season around for y'all?
Yeah, I mean, we have tonight was the 5th game in a row on an away game. We have one more tomorrow, so we had 6 away games in a row. So we always knew it was going to be a tough part of our schedule, but we were hoping to pick off at least 1 or 2 of those, and we didn't. So tonight it was important, and tomorrow becomes really important too. And it's about turning things around and just making sure that we have the right attitude on the field. And I think the players and the organization know how good we are and how short we come, or how close we come So it's just about putting together the whole product.
And like you said, it is a quick turnaround for the game tomorrow. Any different preparation when you got a quick turnaround like that?
Yeah, just get your legs up as quickly as possible. Get some good food in you, hydrate, and hope that your legs wake up feeling good tomorrow.
Okay, man. Thanks a lot, and congratulations on your win again.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Back up to you guys in the broadcast booth.
Some interesting thoughts there from Nick Pereira after an impressive win tonight for the Tacoma Stars. The Stars were outshot tonight 28-14, including 11-1 in the fourth quarter. And the Outlaws really made it a game with a couple of quick goals and a flurry of activity there late in the fourth quarter.
You got to love the heart at the end of the game for a young team, a lot of rookies, never gave up. They kept fighting, kept trying to get goals, and, man, they pulled it to closer than, frankly, I gave them credit for. I thought at that point, late in the fourth, they're still down. The game's over, and, man, you got to give credit to this young team. They never gave up. I don't know if it's fear of loss or fear of Tattoo making them run extra laps at the next practice. I don't know, but, man, really an impressive game there at the end by the Outlaws. And, a lot of things that this team, they're learning. They're learning how to stay in with a veteran savvy team led by a guy like Nick Pereira. They're learning to try to be, how to win, how to come from behind and win games. And so really nice, although a loss, a nice showing from the Outlaws.
Yeah, and there might be some teachable moments here. In fact, there's a lot of fans waiting to get autographs from the Outlaws who are still in the locker room. So I think there's teachable moments and there's teaching going on immediately after this game. We were hoping to maybe hear from Anthony Powell, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to visit from Anthony. We thank Nick Pereira for joining us. We thank you for joining us tonight. A really fun MASL game tonight that saw the Tacoma Stars defeat the Mesquite Outlaws 8-5. The Outlaws will be back here following this loss, hosting undefeated Monterey. The Flash play tomorrow, and they'll be here at Mesquite Arena on January 11th. For Matt Thornton, I'm Pete Stein. You've been watching the Mesquite Outlaws on MASL TV.